Hello and welcome back, and I'm excited to talk about the Challenge 38 because we just got hit like a giant freight train with a whole bunch of new news and some people that are going to be on the potential cast list. That's right, over the weekend, both GamerVev and Pink Rose have started a cast thread for people that have departed and are going to start filming with the Challenge 38. Now, before anything dropped, I was going to talk about the Challenge 38 regardless and go over all the information talking about what we do know about the Challenge 38, but this just turned out to be perfect timing. So in today's podcast, I'm going to be going over everything we know about the Challenge 38. At this moment, we're going to be going over theme, we're going to be going over filming location, departure date, and the cast that Pink Rose and GamerVev have given us so far. Now, I do want to warn everybody that we are still in the early days. Like, everybody just departed this past Sunday, May 22nd. So, with it being so new, they still have to go through quarantine, protocols, that nothing is locked in until everybody is standing in front of TJ and he's saying, welcome to the challenge. Being in the early days, we still don't have the full cast, I believe. We still don't know who's going to be making it onto the cast and who is an alternate, and possibly who could be dropped for breaking protocol or having to drop because of family news or injury, and somebody's going to be coming in instead. There's still a lot of things up in the air, despite us having an official cast thread from GamerVev and Pink Rose. But I'm going to be going over everything that we know at this moment of filming this video on Monday, May 23rd at 11:42 a.m. So let's jump into this. It's going to be the Challenge 38, and the theme is going to be Ride or Die. So the format of this season is it's going to be in pairs. It's going to be man-woman pairs, and they're going to be paired up based on their relationships and how ride or die they are with one another. You have dating couples, married couples, best friends, and siblings at this moment that are supposedly on this list. This has me feeling somewhat of like a Bloodlines Part 2-esque kind of feel, and you wonder, will there be a twist early on in the season where they split up everybody and put them into two teams? I didn't necessarily like that twist on Bloodlines back in season 27, but with a season that is essentially everybody pairing up with their best friends in life, you want that inherent drama, which made exes and rivals so compelling right off the jump. If everybody is best friends with one another, kind of like how last season was, where is the tension going to be coming from? So I wonder if there will be a twist that happens later on in the season where people have to split up. Everybody, like I mentioned, left on May 22nd, 2022, this past Sunday, heading over to Argentina. That's right, the same filming locations for all the challenge spin-offs supposedly coming this year. Now, it could be too much of a coincidence. The Challenge CBS wrapped up about a week or two ago, and now the cast for the Challenge 38 is heading to the same filming location, and to me, it made me wonder, is the challenge going to have like the A team on the main season, B team on a different spinoff, so they don't stop production on the spin-offs? Because there's still 3 other shows that they have to film for. My thought process is we haven't heard anything of Australia, UK, or Argentina. So I could see them pausing production, taking some more time on the back end to make sure the casting for the rest of these spin-offs are really good and thorough, where on the Challenge 38, they can go for 3 to 4 months, wrap up, and then get all the other spin-offs in there, one after another, and just rip through that recording. That will be about like probably 3 weeks to a month of recording the spin-off shows. So that's my thought process on it. TJ Lavin will be the host, and we can expect or assume that the players will be trying to win their portion or their share of $1 million. Now, let's get into who is on the cast list, who are on these threads for GamerVev and Pink Rose, and we're going to get into who is on, who their partners can be, where are they from, if they're from anywhere. We're going to first start off with the pairs that I'm pretty sure are locked in. Like, these are the pairs that are most likely going to be on the cast and most likely paired up together. And then towards the back end of this video is when I'm going to be doing the possible pairings, which they're people on the cast threads of GamerVev and Pink Rose, but I can't really tell who their partners are. There's no clear, like, direct link to everybody, or there's a multitude of partners that they could have. And let's start off with some big news. I'm not even gonna bury the lead in this video. Let's just jump right into it. Someone who I am ecstatic to see back on the challenge. He's coming back from the challenge. He won season 33. We saw him getting DQ'd and walked out of the house in season 34. Well, guess what? He is back. People thought Turbo was banned. No. Turbo was just busy, and now he's coming back onto the challenge for Challenge 38, Ride or Die, and he's going to be paired up with his girlfriend, Tamara. This has me so excited. This is like the best news I could have seen for the Challenge 38. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I loved watching Turbo compete on the challenge. I have goosebumps when I saw his name on the cast thread of both Pink Rose and GamerVev, and this news has me so excited. I want to call their coupling TNT because I know they're going to be explosive on the season. Oh my goodness. This is like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be able to watch Turbo Tarabi compete on the challenge. This is going to be so exciting. Amber B, or we could just call her Amber at this point. I don't know if Amber M is ever going to be coming back onto the show, but as of right now, the only Amber on this season is Amber B. So we have Amber and her partner, Chauncey, which they are a dating couple. Looking at this couple, one, they are gorgeous. And second of all, they look like they're going to be a power couple in the sense of physical power. I mean, looking at Chauncey, he is huge. He is beastly. And I just feel like, yes, Amber's social game wasn't good in the Challenge 37. Now she is partnered up with her 100% ally, her boyfriend, Chauncey, and I don't think there's anybody on this cast that is going to want to go up against either Amber or Chauncey. Just think of both of them in a hall brawl and having to go up against somebody else. Like, that other team will be quivering. Now, I don't know how they're going to do in puzzles, but right now, I'm just looking at their physical attributes, and they look like they could tear anybody up in this cast. So I'm excited to see Amber back. I think that they could make a pretty deep run if they really wanted to. And yeah, I think that their intimidation factor is going to be an all-time high. Not saying that they won't see an elimination. I'm just saying that if it's going to be a physical elimination, they're going to be tough to beat. Let's move on to Aneesa and James Simon. Now, on both cast threads, James Simon is described as Aneesa's best friend. So we can safely assume that Aneesa and James will be partnered up. At this moment, I don't have a ton of information on James. I think that he is just someone that is friends with Aneesa. He looks to be in great shape, and they're best friends. So I wonder how well they can do. Aneesa didn't do so well last season, getting injured. Luckily, there was a long enough off season for her to heal up. Now, somebody who cried retirement from the challenge a mere months ago and who is on All Stars Season 3 as we speak, or filmed it, is Kayla and Sam Bird. Both been on MTV shows. Sam Bird was on Love Island in the UK, and he was also on Ex on the Beach, Peak of Love. As we can tell that Kayla and Sam are married. Kayla hasn't been on the show since Total Madness. Luckily, she won't get too wrapped up in a romance, as I felt like those were her downfalls in season 29 and season 35. She is a strong competitor. She's doing really well on the Challenge All-Stars 3. You wonder how Sam is going to react once he's on the challenge. He really hasn't had to do much physical tasks or challenges on his previous reality show stints, but he is working out. He's doing his best, and he's going to be coming in great shape, and he has Kayla to help him out. Now let's move on to another competitor that we haven't heard of in a little while. We have Laurel, or should I say Dr. Laurel, and she is going to be paired up most likely with Jack Maddox. And Jack, we saw on X on the Beach, Peak of Love. Looking at his Instagram, he is getting well in shape. So I have a feeling that he's been in talks with possibly coming onto the challenge for a little while now. He's been at the gym. He is beefing up. And in one of his more recent posts that he put up on Instagram, he had a gif of Laurel in there as well. So it looks like they are really tight. There's also a picture that was going around where they were departing at the same time at the airport. So they seem to be very much best friends. Both were on X on the Beach, Peak of Love. Laurel was more of a cameo spot. They have found each other. They seem to be super best friends, and I think that this team is going to be big. I always think that Laurel can make it far into the challenge, a challenge season. So I have no doubt that Laurel could go far. And I'm looking forward to seeing Laurel back on the challenge. After we saw her in season 34, she was ready to stir some stuff up, and now I think she's going to even want to come in stronger to counterbalance what happened in season 34. I mean, she was taken out super early. She normally goes very deep, almost to a final in every single season besides the last time we saw her. So I think she's really going to want to come in, get redemption, and go very far into the show. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Laurel back on the show. Coming back to try to keep the crown is Kaycee Clark, and she's going to be paired up with her sibling, her brother, Kenneth Clark. Not too much information on Kenneth. It doesn't seem like he has been on any other reality shows, so he's coming into this realm via Kaycee. Kaycee, we know, is a strong competitor. What will they do if they get sent into elimination? If, in big quotes, because we don't know if there's a skull twist. If there's not a skull twist, it's going to be hard to see Kaycee going into an elimination. I would love there to be something to make every team have to go into an elimination and possibly win to make it into a finals. Last season was ridiculous because nobody wanted to face off against her, so she never went in. She always had the numbers, and with there being the possibility of Josh and Fessy and Nany, and they're all going to be on different squads at this point because Kaycee is going to be paired up with her brother, that's just the numbers spread out. So I'm hoping that there is something in this format where Kaycee and Kenneth will have to go into elimination to then be eligible to make it into the finals, because I'm already seeing the way these possible pairings are put together that we could have this conglomerate just do the numbers. So I'm hoping that there is some form of last place goes into the eliminations, directly into the eliminations, and then everyone has to go into elimination to be eligible to run the finals. Because if not, I can see Kaycee and Kenneth getting a free pass all the way through. The same with Nany. If Nany, let's just go into it. This isn't a for sure pairing. Nany, who is now known as the challenge mother, could have either Johnny Bananas, whom she has been partnered with in the past on season 26, Battle of the Exes 2. They did a great job making it very far into that season despite being eliminated early. But Nany could also be paired up with Josh, who she was paired up for a little bit in Double Agents, and they seem to really work together. I have a feeling that it is going to be Nany and Bananas, which works out for both of them, right? Nany has been doing so many seasons of the challenge. She's finally hitting her stride socially, being the challenge mom, having the Big Brother numbers look out for her. Also, she's dating Kaycee, so they're in a very strong relationship with one another. So she's always going to have that protection from the Big Brother group. So Bananas coming back after taking 2 seasons off, and then last time we saw him, he won season 35 Total Madness. So he's coming in, he's going to have a target on his back. Who do you think Bananas is going to want to be partnered up with? He's going to be wanting to partner it up with Nany. He knows that Nany is a strong competitor. They ran the finals together in certain sections of Free Agents. Bananas and Nany worked really well in those finals. They worked extremely well with each other in season 26. And so their friendship has just grown over the years, which is very impressive for playing a game this long, that they were able to cultivate that friendship and have it be with each other for that long. But Bananas is coming in with a target on his back. If he's partnered up with someone like Nany, who has an amazing social game and all the Big Brother numbers, then he has protection. Because who at that point is going to be throwing in Bananas and Nany? I think that they will be a very strong pairing if that's the pairing. So let's go into the next pairing. And look, so much of their friendship was put on last season, the Challenge 37, that it would shock me to my core if Tori and Devin weren't partnered up with each other. They were trying to play it off that they weren't close or friends on season 36, but then somehow that all changed come next season, which wasn't that long of a turnaround for Devin and Tori to become super close BFFs. And so it would shock me if Tori and Devin weren't paired up. We've seen Tori working out this offseason with Rachel, not only on the YouTube, but it seemed like Tori has driven down to train at Rachel's gym with Rachel as her personal trainer to work even harder to be in that much better shape coming into this season. Josh is also down there. So I guess Josh could also be partnered up with Tori. But at this moment, with who I see on the two threads, it just feels like Devin and Tori are locked to be partnered up with each other. Now let's move into the final pairing that I think is a 100% lock to be partnered up with each other. And that is Annalise and Tommy. Not Tommy from the Challenge 37, Survivor, Tommy from Big Brother 21. They were both on Big Brother 21 with each other. They were both in alliances with one another. They had their loyalties with each other, both of whom made it to the jury on their season. It looked like Tommy got around 5th place, while Annalise took 9th place. Annalise is a soccer player, a collegiate soccer player, so she has that athletic ability. Tommy is a showman. We'll see what's going to happen when those two combine. Will they just instantly integrate into the Big Brother alliance? I feel like Annalise has been everywhere, hanging out with a ton of this cast. You have her hanging out with Jay, rock climbing with Jay, who is on this cast. The same with Nelson, who is on this cast. Josh, who is on this cast. So I just have a feeling that they will be able to work together and be insulated, but at the same time, they are a rookie pairing. So if push comes to shove, they could be seeing eliminations more so, if there's not a skull twist, more so than the other Big Brother players and whoever's in their alliance who have been able to have a good standing from season to season to season of the challenge. I know they're coming in and they have some friends that they have made along the way during the off seasons and outside of the challenge. So they're coming in, I'm sure they're like, yes, we have some friends, but they are still a rookie team. So rookie teams, more so than not, will see eliminations before vet teams or even vet rookie teams. I just mentioned Jay, and Jay is going to be on this season. There was an post on Instagram where Corey talked about how like Nelson had braids and he was like, you're going to have to find somebody in the house to do your hair. And Jay says, I got him. So at that point, we knew that both Nelson and Jay were going to be on this upcoming season of the challenge. So Jay is making his return after not being on the show since season 36 Double Agents. So he is going to be making his return onto the challenge on Challenge 38. And when taking a look at who he could possibly be paired up with, as I mentioned, he's been hanging out with Annalise, training with Annalise, doing some Spartan races, it looks like, doing some rock climbing. They've been hanging out with each other. That could be his possible pairing. I don't think so, though. I think more likely he's going to be paired up with Michelle. Now, Jay and Michelle had dated. I know this is an exes, but they have stayed really close friends with one another. They have seemed to have this like trio friendship with Jay, Natalie Anderson, and Michelle. And despite their romantic relationship not working out, it seems though that Michelle and Jay are still able to be really strong friends. So I have a feeling that it's going to be Michelle and Jay, a Survivor team. What can they do? Jay, we saw, was in the numbers with Big Brother for a little while on season 36, and I think that Michelle and Jay could be strong, and I think when it comes to eliminations, they could find their way through some of these eliminations. They're a little bit undersized for some of the other challengers that could be coming in, that are coming in as like bodybuilders and personal trainers and everything, but I really like this team up of Michelle and Jay, and it looks like Jay and Nelson are super strong and super close with one another. Now, Nelson isn't the strongest socially or strategically. He's also not that good in challenges, as he is riding the longest losing streak of daily challenges. So I think that Jay and Michelle are coming in with some more friends than both had coming into their respected seasons that they have played separately. But I think together they could do something. But the worry is that Survivor is always scary. Yes, Jay has done 2 seasons before. Yes, Michelle is coming off of Challenge 37, but they're still a Survivor team, and that's the worry. Is Survivor is sneaky. So we're going to have to see where they lie in the power rankings come the season and how good they are socially coming into the show. Speaking of Nelson, let's talk about Nelson and his possible partner, Nurys. Now, Nelson and Nurys had hooked up with one another. They had been on X on the Beach, kind of like Jay and Michelle. I'm guessing that Nelson and Nurys, despite their romantic relationship not working out, they have been able to stay friends with each other. If Nurys isn't Nelson's partner, I would be surprised. I think that there's a few people that could be Nurys' partner. Just looking at who she follows online, she is following a lot of people. I mean, Johnny Middlebrooks from Love Island fame. She is also following Horatio Gutierrez. I mean, she is following a lot of people. Nurys' ride or die, because I don't know how strong of ties she has with everybody that she's following on Instagram. She could just be friends or acquaintances of them. We know the challenge has had like light pairings, like Rivals 2, where Wes and CT were paired up with each other, and they had a big old fight that happened in Rivals, and they were just at each other's throat that whole season. And then you have Johnny Bananas and Frank, who had a Twitter beef. So it's like some of these pairings are truly ride or die, while some of these other pairings are like, I know that guy and I hung out with him at a party one time kind of thing. So you never know where the pairings could come from. I think just everybody who's on this list are just excited to be coming on and playing the game. So if I had to put my money on it, I think that Nelson and Nurys are going to be paired up with each other as best friends and exes. So I think that they're going to be partnered up with each other. And I'm just really happy to have Nurys actually being on the show. Like forever, I've been wanting to see Nurys on the challenge. So I'm excited to see Nurys coming onto the show. I'm hoping that her and Nelson could go very far into this season. All right, we're going to just rip off this Band-Aid, okay? I know it's going to make some people's skin crawl hearing this person's name, but you kind of expected that we were going to see Fessy on this season. We were going to see Fessy back on the show. So Fessy is someone on both cast threads of Gamer Vev and Pink Rose. He's going to be on the show, and a lot of people were like, who is going to be his partner? Is Fessy going to be an alternate? He could be an alternate. I have a feeling that his partner could be a rookie named Mariah. So Mariah, for anybody who doesn't know, which is probably a good amount of us, Mariah is described on Vevmo from Pink Rose as an Instagram model / influencer. And that doesn't make me all that excited seeing Instagram model and influencer. Now, to Mariah's credit, she looks like she's in fantastic shape. You never know. Like, the moniker of Instagram model and influencer, I think, brings a negative connotation to where people are like, are they really here to compete? Are they really here to win the challenge? Do they even know the challenge? Now, I say that it could be Fessy's partner because I can't tell who Fessy would be partnered up with everyone who has been given to us by both Gamer and Pink Rose. Now, when I look at her Instagram and check out who she's following, she is following both Josh and Fessy. Josh, I think, has a little bit more wiggle room of who he could be partnered up with, where I feel like Fessy doesn't have all that much wiggle room, and I feel like he could be most likely partnered up with Mariah. Now, let's take a look at another rookie vet pairing, or maybe it could be said that it is a rookie pairing still. But we have Nam on the cast threads. Nam coming in, 3rd time's a charm. Maybe this season he could see an elimination and we could see what Nam can do when he has that pressure on him in the elimination. Now, Nam, I think, could have a few people that he could be partnered up with. I mean, he could be partnered up with Michelle, who he was partnered up for a very short amount of time with on the Challenge 37. They were originally partners, then they had to go into quarantine. Nam was never able to recover to come back onto the show or finish up the season. So he had to drop out of the Challenge 37. I don't necessarily know if that is a ride or die, but I'm going to say that that is a possibility, a very good possibility. And then you also have someone who is a rookie coming onto the show that was added via Pink Rose and GamerVev, and that is Emmy Russ. Yes, there could be 2 Emmys on this season. Now, Emmy Russ has been on a few reality shows. She was on a show called Beauty and the Geek, or Beauty and the Nerd. She was on the German version of that show. She was on that show in 2021. So Emmy Russ being on a German reality show makes me think that possibly she could be partnered up with Nam, which not only was Emmy Russ on Beauty and the Geek, or Beauty and the Nerd in Germany, she was also on a Spanish reality TV show called Secret Story, where it's kind of like a Big Brother type of show. She was on the show in 2021. She was 22 at the time, and she was evicted on day 35. She was the 5th evicted. And I found somebody describing Emmy's experiences on Secret Story, so to kind of give us an idea of what she could do when she comes into the challenge. This person says Emmy was in Secret Story Spain, which is basically like Celebrity Big Brother. She was a total letdown. On paper, she's a great profile because she's like a little girl, entitled, always the center of attention, always wearing pink, immature, manipulative. But she entered the house, guns blazing the first night, only to do nothing the rest of the season, was zero confrontational, cried, almost quit, and ended up asking to be evicted because she realized she wasn't going to win and didn't want to be there anymore. I think she's going to want to quit when she sees that she's not going to win and that she's not going to be the queen of the house. That is not a good description on a competitor that's possibly going to be on the Challenge 38. It makes me worried about her level of competitiveness coming onto the show. You hope that that's not going to be the case on the challenge, but she just did this show in 2021. It wasn't like, oh, this was her experiences like a few years back. This was something that just recently happened. It makes me worried for Nam, who they could be partners with each other. Maybe having a friend in the game, she feels a little bit better, but that is nerve-wracking, to say the least. The next potential pairing I have is Johnny Middlebrooks from Love Island US Season 2 and Raven Rochelle, who is billed as an influencer and an actress. I took a look at her TikTok. I looked at a bit of her IMDb profile, and when taking a look at her Instagram and going through who she follows a lot, and I mean a lot, of the Love Island players. So that's why I think that she could be paired up with Johnny Middlebrooks, that if she's following Olivia Trina, that there could be that pairing of Johnny Middlebrooks and Raven here. You think that, okay, well, as an influencer, as an actress, they're coming in for mainly clout. Yes, they would like to win the money, but they're coming in mainly for clout and also to further their career outside of the challenge, which could mean they're not going to start that much drama. They are going to want to be seen in a more positive light, so they're going to be even keel with everybody, and that means that they're going to be a lot more hidden from the cameras because they're not going to start those fights. I think Johnny M, or Johnny Lee as his name is on Instagram, I think he's going to be messy as all messy. He was messy on Love Island Season 2. He is competitive. He is one of the smaller guys, I believe, but he's going to come in fighting. He's in really great shape, and I think he's going to be messy on top of messy, and I am here for it. And the final pairing I have on my list is Olivia, and I think she's going to be paired up with Horatio. Just like Raven, Horatio is friends or mutual followings with on Instagram with a ton of the Love Island players. So I do think that Horatio and Olivia could be paired up with each other. Olivia won Love Island US Season 3 with her then partner Corey. And then you have Horatio, who, can I just say, Horatio is one of the more impressive rookies coming onto this show. He himself is an athlete who played college soccer, but he was also on this show called Exalton United States on Telemundo. If you look at some of his highlight tapes from his previous show, I mean, it looks like Survivor. I think Horatio is coming in as the rookie who could integrate into the challenge game the most. I just think that they could win some daily challenges, get into power, get some protection. Yes, they could see some eliminations, but I think they could win some eliminations. So I just went over all the players and possible pairings from both cast threads of Pink Rose and GamerVev. I want to go over real quickly the hard nose because I still feel like we could be seeing more people being added to this list. We only have really 14 pairs, meaning 28 players, and I feel like we could have at least 16 pairs, which would get to 32 competitors, and then 4 alternates, which would make for a total of 36 players on this final cast list. And so I think that there's going to be some more people added to this list, and I just want to go over the definitive no's that we know that won't be added later on. We have Devon, who will not be on this season. Derek F., who was supposedly going to be Devon's partner, is not going to be on this season. We have Michaela, who made an Instagram live video stating why she said no to the Challenge 38, and because she said no, Corey L. was dropped, but realistically, GamerVev put out a tweet stating why a few players were not going to be on this season of the challenge. They said that Corey L. was actually dropped last minute along with his friend that was going to be on with him, as well as Esther was having visa problems, so she wasn't able to come onto this season of the challenge, and then Christian was dropped. Christian from Big Brother 23. So those 3 players are not going to be on this season. Alongside Kells won't be on this season. His partner Priscilla had to drop out or was cut. And so they didn't have another partner that he could come onto the season with. So both Kells and Priscilla will not be on this season. Jenny West also made an Instagram live stating why she wasn't going to be on the Challenge 38. She said that she does want to come back to the challenge at some point, but right now she's focusing on her career, getting things focused on that. So she's not going to be on this coming season of the challenge. Theo Campbell, of course, won't be on. Kyle is right now filming a Geordie Shore spinoff with Zahida. So we're not going to see Kyle on for the first time in like 7 or 8 seasons in a row since his debut in season 31. We're not going to see Kyle on this season, and we're not going to see Zahida. Cara Pauly, of course. Brad actually pulled himself out at the last minute. We were supposed to have this like Brad and Melissa partnership, which I don't know how their ride or die, both seasons that they played on with each other, they didn't seem like they were best friends, or they didn't show it in the edit, and definitely not in Final Reckoning. Melissa was on that season for all of but 3 hours before getting DQ'd and pulled out of that house. So I don't know how that pairing would have worked out or how they would have justified that pairing, but Brad pulled out, so that means Melissa won't be on this season. Wes was somebody that was rumored to be on this season. Both Pink Rose and GamerVev believed that he was going to be on this upcoming season, and then he pulled out, or he was never really on this season. He was just playing it up. Emmy and Emmanuel, who are going to be partnered up with each other, were dropped. They were dropped at the airport, and so we will not see Emmy and Emmanuel on this upcoming season. But that is it for this podcast episode of going over everything that we know of the Challenge 38 at this moment. What do you think about this cast list? Does this cast list get you excited? Does this cast list make you scratch your head in confusion? Do you hate this cast list? Let me know anything and everything you feel about Challenge 38 at this moment with all the information that I've given down in the comment section below. I want to hear what you have to say. I am going to be cautiously optimistic. I'm like a roller coaster of emotions when I look at this cast. Some people I get super excited for. Some people I'm not that excited at all. And it just seems like as I went through them, it was just like, yeah, that's a strong team. Yes, I would like to see this team. What? Who? Why? Kind of vibe. So let me know anything and everything you feel about the Challenge 38 at this moment down in the comment section below. Who are you the most excited to see? Which pairing would you like to see the most? And let me know any and all players that you would not want to see on this season of the challenge. Let me know anything and everything you thought about this down in the comment section below. I'm going to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for watching all the way up to this portion of the podcast. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll be back really, really soon with more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.